Hey everybody, welcome to the newest episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. As always, I am your host with the beard, Chris Arnone. And why am I wearing this awesome jacket? Because you wish you were, obviously. Good news, bad news. So we'll start off with a bit of good news on this episode. Now some of you may have already heard this whispering through the trees of the interwebs. Xenoblade Chronicles is finally coming to North America. Nintendo has confirmed it. So yay, Operation Rainfall, even though it probably had nothing to do with it. It's probably all a numbers thing. Anyway, it will have the same translation as the European version. So all of you can please retract your death threats from Reggie Fils-Aimé. He's still got 2 more games to bring over here from Japan that we all really want. But hey, let's celebrate this small victory right now, all right? Just breathe it in and enjoy it. It's a great game coming to the Wii in North America. Finally, yeah. All right, some bad news. I'm not going to come back down, bring it down. So apparently, some of EA's online passes, which I say boo right there just because I said the word online pass, or the 2 words together, some of them expire. Apparently there was a NeoGAF member saying he had bought a new copy of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, a bit late, it came out last year, and the online pass had expired, blocking him from the online play functionality of the game. And Joysticks reached out and contacted EA and gotten a little word back from them that indeed, while most of them do not have expiration dates, some of them do. And for instance, they said Dragon Age 2, those expire March 31st, 2012. But they said at that point, if you are buying a new copy, you can re-download an online pass or get a new one for free from EA. So I'm not sure if that holds true for all the titles with expiration dates, but it's like, online pass sucks ass enough. Now you're going to put expiration dates on it. So even if somebody buys the game new, oh, but they waited too long, they didn't spend $60, sorry, we're not actually going to let you use that online pass. Suck it, EA. Stop doing that. What? Really? Don't punish us for buying your games. We're getting tired of it, all right? All right. Some good news. We're going to need a double shot of good news to finish this one off after that one. Most of you know Lego, of course, the little Danish company that makes the building blocks that everybody grew up building. And, of course, many of you know Minecraft, the little successful game from Mojang that came up out of nowhere and is a huge seller where you, once again, build crap, but virtually. So, of course, a marriage between the two has sort of been inevitable, and yeah, pretty much it's coming. Currently, it's on Lego's website. It's one of their idea things. But just yesterday, between the time when I found the piece of news and the time when I filmed the piece of news, it went from like 700 people liking the idea to over 4,000. It only needs like 10,000 to really get the ball rolling. So I have all confidence that this is going to happen. Minecraft and Legos together. It's Minecraft in the real world. I know, it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be fun. All right, last piece of good news for this good news, bad news is from December 2nd, already gone by, to December 16th, all sales of Modern Warfare 3 avatars on Xbox Live will go toward the Call of Duty endowment. Now, this is a foundation that Activision set up under the Call of Duty name that money goes to help soldiers returning from war, real-world soldiers. So I think it's just fantastic. So if you were thinking about going and buying any of the Modern Warfare 3 avatars for your Xbox, now is definitely the time to do it because it's going to go toward a great cause, and you'll get some nifty-looking Modern Warfare 3 avatar stuff for your little avatar. So good on you, Activision. I'm very excited about that little piece of news. Once again, got that soft spot for any good cause. All right, enough with the news. Controller confessional time. Now, recently, Sony has announced that they're going to be refocusing a lot of their marketing and some of their games on a younger, more family-friendly audience for the PlayStation 3. And, of course, even though they've said they're going to keep the hardcore gamer in mind as well, they're not abandoning us, I've already seen some comments, heard a little uproar online about, oh, they're leaving us behind. They're trying to focus on people that aren't us hardcore gamers. Now, I kind of understand where the sentiment is coming from. Now, I'm going to, broad strokes, stereotypes that a lot of people see when they look at the different consoles. The Wii, of course, has a lot of the kid crowd, a lot of the multiplayer crowd, a lot of the casual market crowd. That's how a lot of people say it, or see it. Once again, there are some core games, there's some great games on the console, but broad strokes is what people see. Then there's the Xbox, which people look at as sort of the shooter console in a lot of ways. And of course now with Kinect, it's reaching a more family-friendly multiplayer audience. But the console has always been better for multiplayer games and has a bigger variety, especially local multiplayer, which is something that families would want compared to the PS3. And the PS3, a lot of people who are hardcore Sony fans, they think they are the hardcore of the hardcore gamers. Now, I own everything. I play on everything. I don't show fanboyism toward anything, but I'm just showing you these are the broad strokes that people see. But honestly, there is a lacking when it comes to multiplayer, local multiplayer, not online. You know, it does very fine with online, but with local, there's a lot less available. And part of that is Kinect. You know, things like Dance Central and some games like that are just great for your local co-op. And the Move hasn't quite gone to that same niche. And so I think what Sony's doing is they're really addressing a shortcoming in their console, because they do have a lot of great exclusives, a lot of great hardcore games. But for family-friendly, for multiplayer, really for me they're lacking. When a lot of people come up to me and they'll ask me if they're debating between a 360 and a PS3, and I ask them, what are you getting it for? If you're getting it as a media server, you want to go PS3. If you're getting it for multiplayer, you want to go 360. And these kind of questions keep going and going. And if somebody says, well, I've got some young children in the house, and they already have a Wii, they're looking to go to HD, I say, you know what, the 360 is really the better option for you. You can get the Kinect and all the games that come with that, and there's just a lot more local multiplayer options available for you. So I think Sony is really stepping up and realizing that they have a weakness in this area. And it's a big area, it's a big demographic that they're ignoring. And I don't think they're going to step away from us at all. They're just trying to grow the brand. They're trying to get more of the low-hanging fruit. Doesn't mean they're going to walk away from us. They're still going to make all the games that we love. I think they're just going to make more games and try to target those younger audiences. And what does that mean for us? Well, it means Sony sells more consoles, which means they keep making all the great games and all the great things that we like to keep seeing as core gamers. So do not despair. Fret not, fellow core gamers. Sony's not abandoning us. They just are trying to fill a void in their software lineup and trying to attract the younger crowd, because those younger crowd will eventually be the core gamers. You gotta get them young, gotta get them early. All right, that's my soapbox for this week, my controller confessional. Nerd TV. Now, I got a double shot of Nerd TV for you this week. The first one isn't just a video that I'm going to play. It's some news about Dark Knight Rises. You know, comic book movie, Nerd TV. You know, it kind of fits in pretty well with itself. And some of you may have heard that there's going to be a Dark Knight Rises prologue shown before certain screenings of the new Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. And that's very exciting. They did the same thing, I don't even remember what movie it was, but for The Dark Knight, they showed a 6-minute prologue, which was the opening Joker sequence that they filmed in IMAX with the breaking into the vault at the bank. But they're going to do another prologue. And they have said, we don't know much, but it's going to feature heavily Bane. Now, some bad news about this whole thing. It will only be shown in 42 theaters in the United States and Canada, and then another 4 in the UK. Now, why is that? Well, apparently the reasoning is that for this prologue, it's 70mm IMAX film. It's not the digital conversion. And there are very few theaters that can actually show the true IMAX film as opposed to the digital version. So that's the only few that are getting it. So unless you live near one of those, and it's very easy, you can Google Dark Knight Rises prologue, you can find the whole list pretty quickly. You'll find whether they're close to you. The really bad news? None of them are close to Kansas City, my hometown. So I'll just have to wait until it gets leaked out on the internet, just like, you know, everybody else. All right. One more piece of Nerd TV. This is more the traditional stuff you're used to seeing from me with Nerd TV. Now, game glitches are something that are semi-common in games. A lot of them are seen in, FPS games online, big open-world games like, Skyrim, and anything with a sandbox usually has some glitches and things that happen. Not so much in fighting games, but some recent hardcore Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 fighters have found some weird glitches happening in that game. One of them includes like this reverse world where it's like the camera is behind, the controls are reversed, everybody's in silhouette. They're just doing all kinds of crazy, weird things. And so I'm putting this glitch firmly in the fun, silly, kind of weird and fun to look at category. It's not really breaking the game. I mean, it makes it harder to play because you're reversed and whatnot. And one of them kind of breaks the game. But generally, it's just kind of cool to look at. So I thought I would show you a part of the full clip of a guy explaining how some of these glitches work with sound, and that's how I'll send you off this time. So enjoy the weirdness that is some Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 glitching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
And then as Strider, you want to wall cling and then climb down the wall. And you can see I'm just kind of messing around here, but basically here I wall cling and then climb down the wall. And both the characters disappear, and when you switch in, the character you switch into will be facing the screen. And this works with every character, except for some reason it doesn't work with Turnabout Mode Phoenix Wright. I have no idea why. Now during this glitch, if you walk left or right, your character will walk either towards or away from the screen. But if you have a character with flight mode, such as MODOK, you can actually reposition yourself on the screen and do all sorts of crazy stuff. And me and my friend were trying to do this online. My friend Undead Nemesis, and we did some weird stuff, like getting the screen to go black and then being able to move around and switch out, and character supers were going backwards and all kinds of stuff. And we actually triggered Deadpool's level 3 during that, and it sent us into this strange place called the Reverse World. I have no idea. Like I just call it the Reverse World. I don't know if there's any like official names for these things or whatever, if they've already been discovered or any of that. But yeah, in this mode or world or whatever you want to call it, all the inputs are reversed,